Most people think that ballet is for young children. More often than not, ballet is associated with girly things, like the color pink and tutus and whimsical, delicate movements. But this is not the ballet that I know. To me, ballet means beauty. It also means bruised, blistered toes and long, tired nights. Ballet is working to the point of exhaustion, pushing my body and my mind to the breaking point. When I was 3 years old, my mother put me into a ballet class in an attempt to rid me of my massive amounts of energy. I came out after that class with no less energy, but with a newfound love. The ballet classes continued throughout the years, first weekly, then daily. At age 10, I received my first pair of pointe shoes. At 11, the ballet studio became my second home, as classes and rehearsals took up 6 days of the week. I never felt as beautiful, serene, and elegant as I did when I danced. But this was a love among many. School was fun and interested me in English, math, Latin, and history. There was my love of art and participation in sports, enjoying tennis and swimming. Good grades were expected. When I was 13, I changed schools, moving from the public middle school I had previously attended to a private school. While I hadn't particularly disliked my school, I absolutely loved my new one. Activities, sports, service, and extracurriculars all called to me, but there was no way to fit it all in. It was a choice that constantly needed to be made during my life, and the clear-cut decision for me was always ballet. That same year, I made a choice to invest myself in ballet. I pushed myself harder than before, spending more and more hours at the ballet studio. Soon, I was dancing lead roles for my company. My director was paying more close attention to me, and eventually I was being accepted into different summer schools. From the age of 13 on, summers were dedicated to ballet and ballet alone. At 13, my summer was split between dance programs in Philadelphia and North Carolina. At 14, 4 weeks of the summer were spent dancing at an intensive program in upstate New York. At 15, I was given the amazing opportunity to live in New York City for 6 weeks and to attend the Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis School for the American Ballet Theater. Ballet consumed my life. Every choice, every decision, every action was all for ballet. I became more and more overwhelmed as the struggle to balance ballet, activities, and private school became harder and harder. I went straight from school to ballet, returning home at 9:30 with no homework done, and on most nights falling into bed exhausted at 1:30 or 2, rising early in the morning at 5:30 to finish homework and get ready for the day. At age 15, everything changed. When I was 15, I auditioned for the renowned school of the Pennsylvania Ballet. I was currently dancing at a small studio where I received a lot of attention. I was comfortable, and I was happy, but I also had a sinking realization that I was no longer improving. Things needed to change. Intimidated, I had put off auditioning for fear of being rejected. Certain that my body type was not the one that the school searched for, and that my technique was not good enough, the idea of auditioning filled me with dread. Finally, my mother convinced me to audition. I showed up at the audition scared out of my mind. The receptionist told me to put my pointe shoes on and showed me to the studio where my class with the students of the Pennsylvania Ballet would be. The director entered to teach class, and when the pianist began to play, a funny thing started happening. My fears melted away. With each combination, I became more and more confident and comfortable. And sure enough, a week later there was an email from the director saying how excited he was to see me at the school in the fall. Happier than ever, I was still presented with the hardest choice of my life. With the increased hours, fees, and health expenses that came with dance, it seemed impossible to still attend private school. My parents presented me with a decision: ballet or school. Picking school meant staying at my private school, enjoying the extensive programs and challenging classes they offered. It meant staying at my fun, mostly recreational ballet studio where my nights were spent with my best friends, and where there was a feeling of safety. Picking ballet meant saying goodbye to all of my amazing school friends, and taking a chance, a huge chance. Moving to a school that was sink or swim meant that I could rise to the top or I could sink to the bottom. While weighing the pros and cons of both options, a thought came to me. For so long, I sat in the audience at the Pennsylvania Ballet shows, dreaming about being up on that stage and vowing to do anything needed to get there. Now, I had the opportunity to be on that stage. Because the school leads to the second company and the company, It meant that my career was being considered. This was the direction that I needed. The realization washed over me that, as corny as it sounds, my dreams were coming true. After my epiphany, the choice to make was clear. These days, my life is very different. I am proud and grateful to say that I am officially a student of the Pennsylvania Ballet. I have switched back to my old public school, allowing more time and focus to be put towards ballet. After school, it's straight to the train station, a train ride to the city, and a mile-long walk before arriving at the studio. Ballet class is different now as well. There is no fooling around or talking during class. Everyone at the school has professional aspirations. Parts and shows and attention are no longer handed down to me. Instead, everything is worked for, each compliment and correction. Sure, I get home at 9:45 at the end of each day, wiped out and exhausted, toes blistered and bleeding, my body aching everywhere, but it's all worth it. I love ballet, and while it takes a lot of hard work, I wouldn't dream of having my life any other way.